Hello, everyone. Um, Today, I would like to talk about, as a software engineer, how we can survive and thrive in the AI era. So, AI is not just a buzzword, but it is the reality of the modern world. It is one of the significant technological advancement of our lifetime. AI is not just disrupting the IT industry, software engineering, but it has been disrupting a lot of industries. You name anything, like it could be manufacturing, it could be supply chain, robotics, anything of that sort. And AI has been touching everything, and it could be any field, like marketing, sales, product management, so a lot of fields, and nothing is uh, untouched by AI right now. So as a software engineer, I would like to talk about that, how we can survive and also thrive in the AI era. We know that it is no more just a buzzword, it is no more just a uh, something that people keep talking about, but now it has been a reality that it has disrupted especially the software engineering uh, immensely, right? Um, just remember, almost like 1 year back, we were writing codes by hand, right? We were typing character by character, and nobody had thought that uh, there will be a time when the AI will start writing code, and a lot of software engineers feel threatened. They feel that their job is just at stake. Uh, and this is very natural, right? As a software engineer, it took us a long time, I would say a decade time, to build the skills of any programming language or any software engineering skills that we have. And when we are seeing that the code that we used to write in, let's say, 1 day, 2 day, or in a week, AI is writing in minutes, right? And this has been a very significant change in the lifespan of the software engineer. And a lot of people feel threatened, right? They feel that, how does our career look like? How does, as a software engineer, we can survive in the market, right? When you open any social media app, and everybody is talking about that, right? If you go to LinkedIn, you go to YouTube, and everybody's talking about AI. So there's a lot of noise, a lot of hype. A lot of companies nowadays is like pushing for AI, as we know, in our workflow, in our companies. Uh, they are asking us to kind of integrate AI, and work with the AI tools to write code. So this has been going on a lot, and even if you want to write code by yourself, this will not make sense, right? This does not make sense now. Going maybe 6 months, 1 year down the line, this is not going to make sense, right? Because of the lot of tools advancement, a lot of technologies advancement, it is writing good codes. So you must be forced to use or integrate AI in your workflow, in your daily day-to-day job. So I'll give you 5 points, that you as a software engineer can do, and that will make you feel confident. That will give you some pointers, some guidance, and that how you will navigate the AI era as a software engineer. So the very first thing I would say, learn about AI tools and technologies. This is the number. If you open a social media app like LinkedIn, and you see that a lot of people are talking about that, I tell you, you cut the noise, and there are a lot of hypes around that. And even people are using a lot of LLM tools, a lot of chat GPTs, and tools like that, and kind of creating content and posting on LinkedIn. But so most of the folks are talking about the AI. They are hyping the AI. They are creating content, right? But they are not building with AI. They are not building AI agents. They are not getting their hands dirty, right? They are not the builder. So if you start learning AI tools and technologies, if you start integrating AI tools in your daily workflow, in your daily day-to-day job, you will be ahead of 99% of the people. So you must have heard of a lot of tools like Cursor, Cloud Code, Replit, or anything of that sort. You can start using in your day-to-day work, and you will feel better that you're able to integrate, you're able to generate code, you're able to debug with that, you're able to write software with that. and with that you will be ahead of a lot of folks, people who are not using AI in their day-to-day job. So that is one, using a AI tool to write software. But at the same time, you have to learn about the AI technologies, that what are different technologies that we have. So it could be, Gen AI concepts, it could be deep learning, it could be a bit of data science concepts. You will learn about the fundamentals and the basics of how a LLM is built, how the neural networks are built, right? And then you will start building confidence around AI. It will not be just a buzzword for you. It will not be just a lot of noise around you, but you will start really making sense what is happening with AI tools. The tools that you are using will start making sense to you, right? So when we talk about AI technologies, there are a lot of technologies are there. There are a lot of courses are there. You can go to Coursera, you can go to Udemy, you can go to YouTube, and you will find a lot of tons of free courses. You can start enrolling. So resources are not scarce, right? It is the desire to learn something new is scarce, right? And people are not disciplined enough, or people are not putting effort to learn. But there are a lot of tons of free resources out there which you can start, going through, learning, building, and then you will start knowing about that, what this AI is all about. So if I can give you some concrete examples, maybe you can start with building some AI agents. So you can use some frameworks like LangChain, LangGraph. You can learn about the Instruct Lab. You can learn about how to fine tune a model. You can go to Hugging Face. You can download any model. Maybe you can set up the models on your local laptop, on your Mac, and you can see that how different models are running. How maybe you can start influencing different models and see that how it is kind of helping in your day-to-day job, how it is helping you automate your daily workflow. And then you will feel confident when you do the hands-on, right? So the overall idea is that you're not just reading about it, you're not just talking about it, but you're starting, you're going to start building with AI. You're going to start building AI agents. You will learn about MCP servers, how different agents talk to each other. So there are different things, and this is the fast, or I would say rapidly growing uh, field. A lot of changes are happening. Maybe if you see that 6 months back or 1 year back, the tools that was there, there has been a lot of changes, a lot of advancement. So unless you keep up with all the latest changes happening around in those technologies, you will not be able to catch up. So I would say just start building, start using your day-to-day work, and also keep reading about that, right? Keep learning about the new new development that is happening in this space. Let's come to number two steps, right? The best way of learning something is by doing, by getting your hands dirty. So with AI will give you more confidence, more hands-on experience than just reading about the AI or the talking about the AI. When you start building projects, when you start exploring different tools, different framework that we have, and then you will start really feeling confident that okay, you know about something, right? And then you can mention the same on your resume, on your you can mention about that, that you have done some side projects in AI, and then you can talk about that in your interviews. So that will be the added benefit of learning the AI the right way. So this was my second advice, that start building with AI. Now coming to point number three, build your strong soft skills. So I cannot stress this enough. I talk about that a lot of time in a lot of my videos. You would have seen that I stress upon building the soft skill. And why soft skill is important? When we talk about the soft skill, it could be anything. It could be a stakeholder manager, you're taking the ownership of the projects, your presentation skills, your communication skills. So all those sort of things comes under soft skill. And soft skill is very, very important, right? How do you present yourself when you go to interviews, when you talk to different stakeholders? How do you manage the project? So as you're growing, and it's not just about technologies, and not just about every tools out there. At the end of the day, we are solving customers problem. We are making someone's life easy. We are automating our workflows. So we are working with humans only, right? We are working with people around us. And the more you are good with your emotional quotient, more you're good with your communication, more you're good with your people skill, you will grow faster than you have ever imagined, right? And I can't stress this enough. This has happened to me, this has happened to a lot of my colleagues, this has happened to a lot of my friends, people who have got, their EQ is higher than their IQ. And this is this is not cliche. A lot of people have gone, they have uh, the corporate ladder, they have reached very fast, and this is no brainer, right? So build your soft skill, manage projects, show your leadership, and this will be very, very added advantage. Now the fourth point that I'll give you, uh, there is going to be a high demand for skilled AI engineer, AI or ML engineer, or any engineer, who can, learn skills and who can demonstrate that he has worked in the AI area. You have integrated the AI, so there's going to be a lot of demand, right? So AI, transformation is going to touch all of the industries, all of the software engineers workflow. Uh, and even though we can't predict the future, but we know that the lot of things are going to be automated, a lot of things are going to be changed the way the software engineering has been. There are going to be a lot of change. With that said, if you have the right skill, if you have the right mindset, if you have the good hands-on experience, there is going to be a demand always for good engineers, right? And that is not going away. I tell you, that is not going away. If you can understand the context, if you can understand the requirement, you can work with teams, you are engaged, you are driven, you want to solve customers problem, the demand for people like that is never going to cease, right? At the end of the day, it's all about problem solving. So we are just solving the problem in different ways, right? We are solving the problem in a different ways. And if you can still solve the problem, it is just that we are now using the AI tools and technologies, right, to solve the problem. But we have been solving the problems earlier, by writing codes, or by doing a, reasoning abilities, or by debugging the problem. But now we have, very good tools in at our disposal, and we can leverage that. And definitely we must leverage those tools to solve our problems. So as long as you are good with that, you have, a good hands-on experience, good learning, good, your concepts are clear, then there will be a high demand for AI and ML engineers. And definitely you can, survive in this, even though the job market is brutal, or the competition is very immense, but definitely you can survive. And not only survive, you can thrive with, as long as you're, you have the right skills, right? And last but not least, the fifth point that I'll give you is be adaptable and keep learning, right? And this is again a no brainer, that technology is one of the rapidly changing field, and you can't rest on your past laurels, you can't rest on your past skills. You have to keep learning new technologies, you have to keep adaptable. There's a new way of building software, there's new ways of, code reviews, there are new ways of, automating the workflow. And everybody has to, keep learning. There will be a lot of new metrics coming in that will measure our productivity, that will measure our outcome, and how, engineers are performing, how softwares are being built, how we are solving customers problem, how we are automating the workflows. So things are going to change with a lot of new metrics coming in, a lot of new KPIs are coming in. So as long as you keep learning, you are adaptable, you are willing to learn, you are willing to put in time and effort, the sky is the limit for you, right? There's nothing that we cannot do. And we know that, like, software engineers are very agile people, right? We deal with problems, we have our problem solving mindset. A lot of problems are thrown at us, and we know that how to kind of, approach the problem, how we break down the problems into a small actionable ideas, and how we kind of tackle them one by one. The same logic, the same rules applies everywhere, be it a, the classic software engineering, or the new AI and ML application development. The basics and fundamentals are same, right? If you have the best practices of software engineering, the same best practices apply to AI and ML engineering, right? It is no different, right? At the end of the day, we are building software. It is just that we are integrating AI while building the software. We are solving the problem with the AI, and we have a lot of things kind of we are building and passing to LLMs, and LLMs has become very smart with all the natural language processing, so they understand our context. They solve us problem, and we can build a lot of RAG applications, and we can build a lot of LLM applications with the advancement of Gen AI. But as long as you're keep learning, and you're willing to put in effort, you are adaptable. I think this you should not worry about that. Your job, you should not worry about that. How will you survive in the AI, right? um, See, like I can just say that when cloud came in, a lot of new job opportunity came in the market which never existed. If you look, like, let's say 10 years back, we did not have roles like cloud engineer, uh, DevOps engineer, site reliability engineer. So a lot of new roles came up when cloud computing hit the market, and it grown a lot, right? And a lot of new job opportunity arise, right? In the same way, when the AI has come, if something is going away, but the new roles and opportunity will pop up, and new things will come up for us. So all we have to do is we have to keep our eyes open. We have to be willing to learn, willing to adapt, and keep learning. And as long as we are agile, open to learning, there's no limit for us.